The Exodus, yeah. Hoping to finish Exodus today and try to start Leviticus with you. We said the priest represents the people to God. The prophet represents God to the people. I gave you a little sheet. I gave you the priest's garments. And this little sheet here. That's how it looked. Aaron and his sons will be the priests in the land of Israel. Notice on the sheet here, you have the turban, called the mitre. Okay, let's find Exodus 28, 36 to 38. You got a little scripture on here, so. And then you have the plate there of pure gold with the inscription, "Holy to the Lord." That's very important because his mind, his thoughts, and all of that must be holy to the Lord. Paul puts it this way: be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind, that you may prove what is that good, holy, and acceptable will of God. And so we have to think like God. Okay? And so our minds have to be renewed. Then you have the shoulder straps for the blessed plate, capped with 2 onyx stones bearing the names of the 12 sons of Israel on each in order of their birth. Okay, so you got the straps to hold it up, and then on the left you got the, see all the little pebbles there, right there in the middle where his hands are. Okay, these are the 12 gemstones, each bearing the name of one of the tribes of the sons of Israel. Now that covers his heart, because God always wanted the priest to keep his people on their hearts. Okay. Pray for them, encourage them, help them with decisions. And then you have the sash on the right side, the little belt area. Then you have the ephod, reflecting the colors of the sanctuary. And then you have the fringe composed of also the pomegranates and golden bells and pomegranates, and woven of the blue, purple, and the sandal yarn. So you had the bells there too on it. He brings out, let everybody know how to preach, he's still alive. I do want to show you this before I leave that. Turn to Malachi chapter 4. Malachi 4, for behold, the day is coming, burning like furnace, and all the arrogant and every evildoer will be like chaff, and the day that is coming will set them ablaze, says the Lord of hosts. So they will leave them neither root nor branch. But for you who fear my name, the Son of Righteousness will rise with what? In his wings, and you will go forth and skip like a calf from the stall. Now turn to Mark chapter 5, the Gospel of Mark. Mark 5. The Gospel of Mark, New Testament. Y'all need to learn the books of the Bible. Huh? What's your fingertip? What's wrong with the fingertip? They what? They were what? Oh, okay. Mark chapter 5. Verse 25, and a woman who had a hemorrhage or issue for 12 years, that endured much at the hands of many physicians, and spent all that she had, and was not helped at all, but rather had grown worse. After hearing about Jesus, came up in the crowd behind him and touched his garment, his clothes. For she thought, if I just touch his garment, I shall be made what? Be made well. Or be made what? Later on, you see where the priest, when he wore a garment, he had the picture of a wing down toward the heel. Not a wing. Based on Malachi chapter 4. So here this woman, she's saying, basically, literally, if I can just touch the wing of his garment. Okay. Because when Messiah comes, he will have healing in his wing. Right. So that's why she's touching his garment. Amen. She understood the Old Testament. If I can just touch the wing of his garment, then him, I will be made whole. So that's why she did that. She's not doing it just for the sake of touching. She's touching because of the prophecy. In Malachi chapter 4, verse, that was told in 2. If I can just touch him was gone, but it had the wings through. Now she was made whole. And when she touched it, what happened? She was made whole. So, I thought I'd throw that out. Huh? Thankful for the nugget. Okay. Malachi chapter 4 is verse 2 or 21. Yeah. Now, so Aaron is to consecrate his sons. Turn to Exodus 29. Verse 10. Then you shall bring the bull before the tent of meeting. Aaron and his sons shall lay their hands on the head of the bull. You shall slaughter the bull before the Lord at the door of the tent of meeting. You shall take some of the blood of the bull, and put it on the horns of the altar with your finger, and you shall pour out the blood at the base of the altar. And you shall take all the fat that covers the entrails and the lower the liver, and the 2 kidneys and the fat that's on them, and offer them up in smoke on the altar. But the flesh of the bull and his hide, it is free food. You shall burn with fire outside of the camp. It is a sin offering. And notice here, God is consecrating Aaron's son, but they got to offer sacrifice for their own sins, because just like the people need forgiveness, so does the preacher. See, now why is it important Turn to Hebrews chapter 5 for a moment. Hebrews chapter 5. The one that book that tells you that the man is supposed to make the coffee. Hebrews. Hebrews 5. Verse 1, for every high priest taken from among men is appointed on behalf of men in things pertaining to God, in order to offer both gifts and sacrifices for sins, so that he can gently deal with the ignorant and misguided, since he himself is also surrounded with weaknesses. Now, when people see that Aaron and their son offer sacrifices for themselves and the gifts, they know they're not God.
All right.
People know that this man who represents God, he don't have it all together either.
All right.
And the man understands. Now, I can be more compassionate with people because I fail just like they fail. So, and too often we present as pastors and preachers, we present ourselves as though we're so holy. We got it all together. You know, like our breath smell like peppermint when we wake up every morning. That don't happen. Some of us have halitosis in the morning too, right? We call that stanky breath. That's why we go through the second breath. Right? And we have to be very careful we don't make people think that we got it all together. That's why churches many times fold when the pastor do something or he falls. The churches go to pieces. It's because the people put all their trust in him instead of God.
Amen.
Look at verse 20. This is very interesting. No, 29, verse Exodus 29. Yeah, Exodus 29, Exodus. Old Testament. Verse 20. Yeah, 29 and 20. I'm going to start at verse 19. Then you shall take the other ram, and Aaron and his sons shall lay their hands on the head of them. You shall slaughter the ram, and take some of its blood, and put it on the lobe of Aaron's what?
Right here.
Right here. His hearing must be set apart for God. The things he listens to must be set apart for God. Must be holy. And on the lobes of the right ears of his sons, and on the thumbs of his right hand, the things that he does must be set apart from God. And then on the right big toe, because his walk must be set apart from God. Y'all see what's going on here? The ears, make sure you listen to God.
Amen.
Above anybody else. Right? The hand, what he does. Has to be set apart for God. And his walk on the toe must be set apart for God. And so God said, I want you to anoint some of that blood and put it on these parts so you understand. He listen to me. He do what I say. And walk where I tell him. That's the job of every Christian. Not just a priest. The Bible says the Old Testament was written for our admonition and our learning. We might find encouragement and hope. So that's telling me to read. Don't just be a hearer. Be a doer. Listen with the intent of obeying God. Okay. And we saw whether the tabernacle, we gave you some on that with tabernacle. Now Moses is up on verse chapter 32, he's up on the mountain. And them fools down there made a golden calf. Moses, he ain't come down yet, y'all. Must be dead. And they go to Aaron, and he makes a golden calf in verse 4. This is your God, O Israel, who brought you up out of the land of Egypt. Notice the golden calf. What did they learn about the calf at? Egypt. The calf or the bull was a symbol of strength. Now the golden calf was to represent the true and living God. Yeah, that's what they're doing here. The calf that they're making is not a representation of another God in their minds. They're using the calf to try to worship the true and living God, which is wrong. Yes, sir.
What's something called the
Apis? Yeah, that was a bull in Egypt. Yeah, that was one of the gods of Egypt, represented by the bull.
What's that name?
The Apis bull. A-P-I-S, yes. I think I gave this to you in your chart. Now when Aaron saw this, he built an altar before it, and Aaron made a proclamation and said, tomorrow shall be a feast of the Lord. So the next day, they rose early and offered their burnt offerings and brought peace offerings, and the people sat down to eat, to drink, and what? Rose up to play. That is not what the Hebrew said. The word to play means sexual orgies. That's how the pagans many times worship their gods, was through sex. So Moses knew he was going to have kids in the church, so he put play. And the Lord says, spoke to Moses, go down at once, for your people whom you brought from the land of Egypt have corrupted themselves. Verse 19, it came about as soon as Moses came near the camp, he saw the calf dancing, and Moses' anger burned, and he took the tablet from his hand and shattered them at the foot of the mountain. And the calf, he took the calf which they had made and burned it in fire, and ground it into powder, and scattered it over the surface of the water, and made the sons of Israel drink. Wow. But notice what happened. Verse 28. 3,000 men of the people of Israel fell that day. They died. 3,000. Isn't that something? And Moses is still asking for God to forgive these people their sin. That's what Moses would say, be sure your sins will find you out. May take a while. You see, turn to Ecclesiastes chapter 8 and put this on your refrigerator, verse 10. Ecclesiastes chapter 8, verse 10, along with some lines. What does it say?
Then I saw the wicked buried who had come and gone from the place of holiness, and they were forgotten in the city.
Ecclesiastes 8?
Ecclesiastes 8.
Verse 10, yeah. That's verse 10, chapter 8?
And death comes to all these.
Hold on, try 19.
Live joyfully
No, that's not it either. Hold on a second. How about 11? That's right. 811. 811, yes. What is 811? Yes, that's what I'm
It says because of the sentence against and the evil works is not excused evil. Therefore the heart of the Son of men is fully set and men to do evil.
Just because God does not punish a sin immediately, people set their heart and keep doing what they're doing. They forgot that just because God won't judge right now, they think he ain't gonna judge. You know, like Mama used to say, I'm gonna get you for old and new. See? And we have to be very, very careful. All right? Moses wants to see God's glory. God said, I'm going to hide you in the cleft of the rock. If you can't see it, you know, it's just like trying to look at the sun, and that's right, you can't do it. And again, chapter 36, we see what the tabernacle is being constructed. Moses asked all the people who were willing to contribute to the construction of the tabernacle. And the men who were building it says to Moses, look at verse 5. It says, Moses, the people are bringing much more than enough for the structure of the work which the Lord commanded us to perform. To issue a proclamation. Circus throughout the camp, so let them bring no more stuff. Well, I sure wish I could say that on Sunday. Don't bring God no more money. You got too much. That'll be a blessing, won't it? Yeah, to say that. We don't need no more money. But that ain't what we have to say. Look, so y'all need to give God some more money.
Please help.
See, it starts with a willing heart. Your giving starts with a willing heart. Okay. And stop looking at how much you give, looking at how much you keep. That'll help you in your giving. In chapter 40, the tabernacle has been erected. And the Shekinah glory comes down in verse 34 all the way to verse 38. Anybody got a question about Exodus? All right, let's go to Leviticus. I gave you a sheet. Let me see if I can find it. I had a little burnt offering thing. This sheet right here. No, I won't. Let me get it right quick. You got so much stuff.
Pastor, one question.
Okay, hold on just a second. While you ask the question, they can be getting this form that we need to.
Leviticus at a glance.
Leviticus at a glance. Leviticus at a glance. Yes, sir. Go to the mic so they can hear you.
This is one little small question.
Okay, that's fine. They can hear you on the internet.
The reference of the tabernacle.
You got your phone on?
No.
It's in Bluetooth.
The replica of the tabernacle and all that stuff that's in the Old Testament at that time. how is this going to present itself in heaven? Like, this is a replica of what God is,
We're not gonna have a tabernacle in heaven, a temple.
but this here is like an example of something here. You see God like,
Yeah, the tabernacle was fulfilled in the person of the Lord Jesus Christ. Everything about the tabernacle pointed to Christ.
is this an example of anything with this, like it's going to be in heaven later on?
It's not gonna be a tabernacle in heaven.
I mean, with God's presence, is the kind of glory coming down.
We'll be in heaven with the Lord, and so the type has been fulfilled in reality. So the tabernacle is only a type, and so it's just like the difference between check coat and Coca-Cola. Check coat you get one belt, Coca-Cola you get many. It's the real thing. Yeah. So that's the difference. I know that check coat will give you one belt. Yes, ma'am. Leviticus at a glance.
Do you have any more of those, Doc?
Do I have any more of these? I don't know. We can get you one. The book of Leviticus, if I'm not mistaken, I'm not, that's right here. The whole book takes about 30 days. Everything in the book happens in about 30 days. 1 month. Then look at the focus. The first 17 chapters is sacrifice. The last chapters are sanctification. Then you got the laws of offering, consecration to priests, people, atonement. Then you got the laws of sanctification. Here it has verses chapters 1 to 17, the way to God, and the rest of the chapter is the walk with God. The laws of approaching, acceptable approach to God. Chapters 1 to 17 and 18, and following the laws of continued fellowship with God. Then you got locations in Mount Sinai, about 30 days. Let me give you something different, just a little bit, as I understand the book. So you want to write down somewhere, chapters 1 to 10. Chapters 1 to 10. The believer's worship of God. Chapters 1 to 10. The believer's worship of God. Say again. Worship. Of God. Chapters 11 through 27, the believer's walk with God. Chapters 11 through 27. The believers walk with God. Right beside chapters 1 to 10, put the believer's sacrifice. Believer's sacrifice. In chapters 11 through 27, the believer's separation. So you got sacrifice, you got separation, you got worship, you got walk. Now find your sheet that had Levitical offerings. Levitical offerings. The book of Leviticus gets its name from the Septuagint. That's the Greek translation of the Old Testament, which means pertaining to the Levites. And if I'm not mistaken, I believe the Hebrew title is "And He Called." Yeah, it's come from the very first verse in the first chapter. And He Called. That's the Hebrew title of the book. The Septuagint is a Greek translation because the book is talking about the Levites, so they say it's pertaining to the Levites. That's why we get Leviticus. Okay. The burnt offering in chapter 1, through verse 17, is an offering of consecration and dedication. It's an offering of, you can write it down. Don't worry about the sheet right now. I'll let you know when I look at the sheet. It's offering of consecration or dedication. The burnt offering, chapter 1. Everything was burned up except the skin, which belonged to the priest. Now notice the animal had to be without defect. Verse 3 of had to be without defect. And the officer shall lay his hand on the head of the burnt offering that it may be acceptable for him to make atonement on his behalf, and he shall slay the young bull. The bull was an offering of the wealthy. You want to note that. The bull was an offering of the wealthy. Verse 10, but if it's offered from the flock of the sheep or the goats for a burnt offering, then he shall offer male without defect. The sheep or the goat was an offering of the middle class. Verse 14, but if his offering of the Lord is a burnt offering of birds, he shall bring his offering from the turtle doves or the young pigeon. That's the offerings of the poor. Bull, the wealthy, had to be male. Sheep or the goat, middle class. The turtle dove was the offering of the poor. What did Joseph and Mary offer? Turtle dove. That shows you the economic condition. Now watch this. If you got bull money, you can't offer turtle dove money. God will reject it. If you got bull money, you can't offer sheep money. God will reject it. God expects us to give to him according to our economic resources. Because worship, for worship to be what it is, it has to cost something. Yes, sir.
explain something on the 10%, that God, some people say God requires 10% of your earnings. And I've heard some people say that if you just, make a statement that you're gonna give a certain offering, and, you know, a pledge, that you're gonna give so much.
God does not require 10% since the church.
Right.
10% is under the law. Some of y'all say, yeah, you gotta get on my money. All right. I've stated on several occasions that nobody really tithes today because there were 3 tithes. Then you get New Testament, you had the Roman taxation, so your annual income, annual giving would be about 40%.
What's the second that measure, annual 3 taxes?
Yeah, you have one for the priests and Levites. They got one for the temple, and then every 3 years you get one for the poor and the strangers. What is it, the strangers? The benevolence. How many are giving 40% of their income to the Lord? Okay. One person giving about 40%. That's good. Most of us don't. I don't give 40% of mine. That's what the Lord says. Give as a person's purpose in his heart. Tithing is a 10% in this future term. 10% is a good start if you never learn how to give. But it's only a start. What has happened is people have started at 10% and stopped at 10%. And God says, wait a minute now. 10% is not enough of the thousands I've given you. I've given you 100,000, you're giving me 10,000, when you should be giving me 20,000. All right. Yes, sir.
So when Mr. Jones was making $50 a week, and he told him he went to the preach, and actually prayed for him that he couldn't, when he started making 500 a week, and he couldn't see paying their,
$50 a week. Yeah.
And he prayed for him to start back and paying him 5. What do you think the deal was on that? That would have been 10%. I mean, he was trying to get out of paying the 10%.
Yeah. His problem was that he struggled when he started making more money.
Right.
And he was easy to get $5 and get $50.
Well, although he was making more money.
Yeah, right. Yeah, right. So the preacher asked God to take him back to the 50 so he can get a 5 with no problem. Yeah, because you can imagine the guy opened his eyes after the preacher prayed that prayer. Sometimes God has to take some people back. It's sad that he has to do that sometimes. Now, chapter 1, verse 1, the Lord called Moses and spoke to him from the tent of meeting, saying, speak to the sons of Israel and say to them, when any man of you bring an offering to the Lord, you shall bring your offering of animals from the herd of the flock. And his offering is to be a burnt offering, the Olah, O-L-A, Olah offering. You mentioned something, Joe. I forgot that. Did you leave the copy machine on for me? I didn't tell you. But leave it on. Can you turn it back on for me? Leave it on. Olah, which means to ascend. Look at the word Holocaust in that word. Olah, it means to ascend. Ascend. So here's what's going on. The animal represents the person who's coming before God. The animal is a substitute, right? And so when the animal is flayed, the skin belongs to the priest, everything else belongs to the Lord. It's burned up. The smoke ascends. It's like God is sniffing. Okay? Now understand something. God is not so much sniffing the offering as he is the offerer. Because the animal represents the offering. Okay? So here's a person he's offering God the right offering, but he does it begrudgingly. Okay? So God says, okay, God says, I reject it. I get you. Are you ready for it? Every time you go to church, when you walk through those doors, God is sniffing you.
All right.
When you give, God is sniffing you. And I wonder, what does it smell? Is it sweet? Or is it stinky? See, listen, beloved. Worship is important to God. And people will come to church with all kind of different attitudes. That's why when you come to the door, and let me say this to you, the devil is very effective. You have to prepare for worship. Like you prepare for work on Monday morning? You have to prepare, you have to get your mind together. Because I'm going to tell you something. Those of you who are married, you know how it is. Just before you turn into the church parking lot, you and have argument. Over some little stuff. Or the kid that got you off. Before you get out of the car, just stop right there, Lord. Before I kill this child. Help me, Jesus, get my attitude right. So I want to worship you in peace and in spirit and in truth. Sometimes you have to do that. Because I'm going to tell you something, the devil will fight with you all the way to church. Because he wants to throw a monkey wrench in your worship. You have to watch out for that. You got to see it, see what's happening. Or the kids in the back seat fussing and fighting with each other, trying to throw your mind off worship. Because when you go to church, God has a word for you. That he wants you to get while you're there. Amen. There ain't a sermon that I've ever heard since I've been saved that I got something from. You know what? I ask God, God, now that I'm here, let the preacher say something that I need.
Amen.
And invariably, I get something. I've got something from the worst sermons I've ever heard. One of the things I got for, don't preach it like that. Study more, or whatever. And so, worship is very important to God. And it's very important that the worship gets right with God. That's why he says here, make atonement, verse 4, for sin. Because we need forgiveness. But sometimes we come in God's house full of unforgiveness. Amen. We know our hearts are not right. Get your heart right with the Lord before you leave. Amen. Before you come to God's house. So. Now, let me say this to you. You can have the best worship service you've ever had this Sunday. And I'm going to tell you how. You ready for it? Lord, as I go to church on Sunday, you allow me to go to church on Sunday, I'm coming with my heart and my mind focused on you. And I want to give you all that I got in worship of you and thanksgiving for all you have done for me. And focus my mind on you. And let me have the best worship service I've ever had. And God will do it. God will do it. That don't mean you're going to run around the church. Well, if you did, you ought to all.
All right.
Amen.
Folk think that's spiritual, running around inside the church. That's out of order.
Amen.
Bible says everything done decently high. You know. So people don't have focus on you. See, but you can have the best time in church you ever had. I mean, every Sunday if you just focus on Him. Because remember something, worship is an audience of one. Don't go to church trying to impress nobody but Him. Don't try to impress the preacher. Impress God. God, I'm coming to worship you. I'm a big Earth, Wind & Fire fan. I love it. I was at Coliseum in '76. Earth, Wind & Fire was down. Now we would have warmed them up. When Earth, Wind & Fire hit the stage, I ain't know nobody else in that arena but me and them. I was focused on the stage. I could still see him like we yesterday. That been over 40 years ago. So I tuned everybody else out. Huh? Because I had to hear that ghetto wheel and that that's the wheel of the world. And that shining star. And if I can give a soul group that kind of attention, I already give God the same kind of attention. When we get to the point we can focus on Him alone and not worry about what's going on around us, you have the best time to worship you ever had. And you can have it every Sunday. It begins with you. Now, the burnt offering is also used in the New Testament. Romans chapter 12, verse 1. 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 I beseech you. All right. Notice Paul said, I beg you, by what God has done for you, the mercy of God, that you present your bodies as what kind of sacrifice? Holy and acceptable. And what now? Your reasonable what? Service. Reasonable service. That's a bad translation. He says, because this is how you worship God. In the Old Testament, God required a dead animal. Now He requires a live person. What He's saying is, put, just like Moses told these people, put this whole animal on the altar, you get up there. Instead of the animal getting on the altar, you get up there. And give God your all. Walter Payton was one of the most celebrated running backs in NFL history. Graduated from Jackson State, Mississippi. Drafted by the Chicago Bears. They called him Sweetness. The reason why Walter Payton became such a great running back was because his teammates said that Walter Payton gave 110%, not only on game day, but every practice day. He gave it all. And that's what God is looking for from you and me, to give it all. And you can be one of the greatest Christians that God ever saved. We just give God our all. Just give it your all. Lord, I'm giving you me. Here I am, Lord, I'm broken down, I got all kinds of issues, God. Getting beat up, bruised, battered, whatever, Lord, but here it is. And Yes, well, God will take it and do so with it for his glory.
Yes.
Have a good Sunday. And we'll see you next Thursday.
All right.